More companies leaving California.
Do you really care about that? That's a good question. You should, especially if you're in California. You're listening to Home Sellers Advantage. I'm your host, Aaron Zapata.
And I'm your other host, Todd Anderson. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Realty Group with Real Broker, and we are here to give you the Home Sellers Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv.
Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253.
All right, well, the news came out over the weekend. Actually, on February 6th, it was released. And so I got an email, and I have this Google alert set up, and it tells us every time somebody is leaving, every time a company has announced that they're leaving California.
Yeah, we've covered a few of these before. There's
we have
several notable companies that have left California, but this one we have to pay attention to.
We do, because we're realtors, and you know what we do?
We sell homes.
We do, and
if you're looking for a realtor, what's the first thing you'd think to type into your URL?
The Bald Brothers team.
You got me.
Bald Brothers team, of course. No, a lot of people go to realtor.com. That's right. So, it was announced on February 6th through a press release that realtor.com is leaving the Bay Area.
They are leaving California.
Hit the road, Jack.
And where are they going to, Aaron?
And don't you come back. No more, no more, no more, no more. They are going to Texas. Austin, Texas,
yes,
is recruiting these California corporations, it appears, and they announced in their news release that they are going there because of the area's affordable cost of living, their aspirational lifestyle, and expansive tech and academic communities, and that makes it the ideal home for their home base.
Yep. So it's not just homeowners that are moving to Texas. Companies are moving there too.
That's right. Chevron announced last year that they're moving.
I think we covered that.
That's right. Tesla, of course. And then Facebook announced earlier this year that they're going to move a portion of their company to Texas. Yeah. So that's a big deal. Yeah. But we just had to bring this to you because we're realtors, and realtor.com, our namesake website, their headquarters are now moving as well. Yep. So that's it. Nothing really special.
Just a curiosity, just something interesting to throw out there. Most of you probably don't care.
That's right. You don't care, but that's okay.
But we do.
But we've got another topic to talk about.
Yeah.
And this one is interesting.
This is an interesting one, especially considering what's happening in our country right now, ever since the election.
Yes.
With the Department of Government Efficiency. We were saying earlier, do you call it Doge or Doge?
Yeah, that's a big debate right now.
Not to be confused with Dogecoin.
That's right. Is it the Doge Department or is it the Doge Department?
Yeah.
Is it huge or is it huge?
Is it Rouge or is it Rouge?
Right. So that is a question. I'd love to hear your comments on that one. Is it Doge or is it Doge?
Yeah.
Because I heard it both ways, and it's got me wondering, which way is it going to go? So the Doge Department announced that last week basically said CFPB RIP. And that is a bunch of tongue-twisting acronyms for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The CFPB.
Yeah. So what does the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau do, Aaron?
What do they do? That's a good question because I don't know. Actually, that's not true. I do know a little bit about the CFPB. So the CFPB was created in 2008 after the last housing crash. The government had to do something to create accountability.
Yep. So there is a tie-in to real estate here.
There is. So, after the mortgage crash, after the collapse of all those mortgage companies, the CFPB was created to protect consumers against fraudulent, against predatory lending practices, and they created a whole slew of guidelines and regulations that lenders had to follow.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're sponsored by Crosswalk Mortgage, which is my mortgage company, and that, basically came into play for us. We came along long after that, but we had to abide by CFPB guidelines. And they put into protection, they put certain things together. They reorganized the forms that we have to look at when you're doing loans. They put together protections. That was their whole goal.
Yeah.
protect the consumer from financial fraud and other kind of things.
Sounds like a good idea.
It sounds like a great idea. So,
well, and especially coming out of 2008, because there was so much predatory lending and silly business going on at that time.
And it was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there truly were some bad players.
Yeah.
And the whole way that loans were set up was bad. It wasn't my company at the time, but I managed a mortgage company. And I remember looking at the commission checks that the loan officers were getting, and I thought, wow, it would be really great to be a loan officer right now. Now I was just managing it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the loan officers made way more than the realtors. And so back in the day, I had a real estate company that I was managing and a mortgage company, it wasn't Crosswalk, and also an escrow. And so looking at all the fees, and I thought, wow, this is really set up to benefit the loan officers if they sell bad loans, which is predatory.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's the very definition.
Exactly. So CFPB came in and basically changed all those rules and tried to fix it. Now, here's the thing. After a while, some of these bureaus, the work has been done, and now they just exist to exist.
Yeah. And isn't that the issue oftentimes? Just existing for the sake of existing. It's very easy to bring something into existence. It's very difficult to close the door on it and to have it shut down.
Right. And so the government jumps into action. Everybody's on board. Everybody creates the bureau.
Yeah. For a good reason.
For a good reason. And then it just continues to exist. And over the years, one could argue that they basically existed solely to exist. And here's my thought on this. Okay, so they're doing an audit, they're doing all these things, and they decide to shut it down because it's not either effective. I don't know the reasons.
Yeah,
but
this is brand new news for us.
It
just came out.
Yeah, in fact, yesterday, Sunday.
Yeah,
we're recording this on a Monday. Yesterday, everybody at the CFPB got an email, said, don't go to the office. The office is effectively closed. If you want to do any work, you need to run it by the chief legal counsel of the CFPB. Otherwise, stay home. Don't go to the office. It's going to be locked. Don't come to work until further notice. That's a pretty big halt.
Yeah.
1,700 employees.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they're all based out of, but my guess is Washington, D.C. We're told don't come to work. I think that's going to be shut down effectively immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's all going to play out in the courts.
Yeah, the handwriting's on the wall there, it seems.
But the question is it necessary?
Yeah.
At what point does a bureau that is started for a specific purpose no longer become necessary?
Yeah.
And, people are going to be outraged. They're going to say, financial abuse is going to skyrocket again. It's going to be terrible again. But let me ask you a question, Todd. What was the Biden administration running a campaign on lowering costs of financial instruments?
Yeah, they were.
Right?
That was one of the things that was brought up in, was it the State of the Union or the debate? I can't remember, but he talked about lowering junk fees.
Attached to credit cards, attached to airplane travel, attached to a bunch of things. And then they went after student loans. And started forgiving student loans, saying they were predatory, saying that we needed to get rid of them. Now, in my thinking, and I don't run the government, but my thought was, if they were doing a good job at the CFPB,
there'd be no need for.
Why would you have to run on those promises?
Yeah.
They should have been doing that all along. So perhaps the CFPB was not doing what they were called to do, and they should be shut down.
Yeah.
Do I believe that predatory practices need to be prevented? Absolutely. But perhaps there's a different way.
There's a different way. There's a more cost-effective way that's not going to cost the American taxpayer as much.
Yeah.
But how does this relate to real estate? Well, it definitely does, especially when it comes to lending.
When it comes to lending right now, a buyer has to pay for their own appraisal. Now, before the PFPB, I think
CFPB. It's just a bunch of letters.
It here.
Just a bunch of letters. I get it.
That bureau. Before they existed, the average appraisal price was between $350 and $400. Now the average appraisal price is between $700 and $800 because the appraisers have to jump through hoops, and the average appraisal doubled in size. The work doubled.
Yeah.
And so now that's an additional cost to a borrower when they want to buy a house.
So added regulations required them to adhere to those added regulations, which ends up in a higher sticker price.
That's right.
on the products that you serve.
That's right. And I'm not sure if it's directly attached to anything that the CFPB is doing, but the cost of running credit has doubled over the years as well. And so I know we have inflation. I know things like eggs cost way more, but some of these things we do see a direct correlation to the amount of checklists that have to be checked off to get something through. Just increases the cost. More hands have to touch it. More work has to be done. Therefore, the cost of delivering that good or service to the end result, the consumer, goes up.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, were they effective?
Yeah, that's a good question.
We'll see. And we don't know yet.
And you know what we'd like to know? We'd like to know what you think.
Yeah.
Get your thoughts on it. This is just a brand new thing. And so Aaron and I were talking about it earlier today, coming up with some different scenarios, and that was one of the things he brought up. Is it necessary based off of some of that was coming out in the political campaign?
Yeah, and I do find it interesting in this environment that we're in is that people go out and protest the shutting down of government offices. Now, we used to call in a regular job, if they didn't like the way employees were treated, they would picket or they would do like a strike, right? But people are out like protesting in front of these places.
Yeah,
and I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah,
because if the government is not serving its purpose, those departments should be shut down.
Absolutely.
Because they should.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I run a business, right? We sell homes. If something's not working, Todd, we cut it out. We stop doing it.
Yep.
We do advertise on K-Wave. Why? Because it works.
Because it's effective. Yeah.
That's right.
But we have advertised in other places where we realize it's not effective, and so we cut the fat. We cut it out.
Are you talking about me?
Well,
yeah.
I could be talking about myself.
You'll have a bald bro. He's going to cut me out. Just cut the fat. All right. Hey, well, we would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. And if you're looking at selling a home, we really want to be that first call.
That's right.
Don't go to Realtor.com.
Don't go to Realtor.com.
Go to baldbrothers.tv.
That's right.
Baldbrothers.tv, not .com, baldbrothers.tv. And you can find all of our contact information. And when you call our 800 number, you'll get a live person that takes your information and tell them why you called, and we'll call you back.
It's much better to get a live person than a dead person.
That's true. But you're not going to get an AI.
That's true. Okay. Very good.
We're in a new world.
It's a real person. A real person. There we go.
I can't take Todd anywhere. He keeps saying these things. So you're not going to get AI. It's not an automated answering service that, is all whatever. Talk to somebody.
Yep. We're not at the point yet where you and I can replace ourselves with AI.
And when that happens, one of us will go. All right. Hey, thanks for listening today. And until next time, God bless. Thanks for listening to the Home Seller's Advantage. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Real Broker, licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, number 02022-092. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.